What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. You're a returning subscriber as always, guys. Welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Now, happy Sunday to you guys. It's Christmas Eve, so I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas if I don't make any videos tomorrow. But let me drop into this story. Now, as you guys have well been, that watch the news and stuff, 23-year-old Elijah McClain, who was falsely arrested in 2019, August of 2019, under suspicion, just suspicion, where he subsequently lost his life after being restrained and stuff by the police officers, the EMTs that were involved in his arrest, treating him at the scene, wound up getting found guilty out there in Aurora, Colorado. Now I'm gonna play you this video real quick, right? Because this is back from 2019. But in the description box, if you want to get yourself familiarized with this case, I will have the full video in my description box below and the timeline video showing, if you don't want to watch the whole 28 minutes. So you can pick which one you want to see. But in this video, I want to just show you the brief, synopsis of what's going on as of recent. Then I'm going to come back and talk about a few things that I think, make a lot of sense, and how this case has the same MO in it that a lot of other cases, have, and things we can do to make it better when we're ran up and put in situations where police who don't know your situation. I think it can help you, in the long run. Take a look at this and we'll just come back and just talk about it.
This morning, a guilty verdict for the two paramedics charged in Elijah McClain's death. Both Peter Chikuniak and Jeremy Cooper found guilty of criminally negligent homicide, and Chikuniak found guilty of second-degree assault. The jury finding Chikuniak unlawfully ordered an excessive dose of ketamine, a powerful sedative. All of this as officers held the 23-year-old down in an Aurora, Colorado suburb, walking home from a convenience store 4 years ago.
And my job is to stand up for what's right.
McClain's mother, Shanine McClain, Instagramming this emotional video ahead of the verdict.
What happened to my son that night was not about common sense, y'all. It was not about protocols. It was not about training.
One of the paramedics saying this about the moments after police placed McClain in a chokehold. They said they had to use ketamine because he appeared to exhibit signs of excited delirium.
This was more excited delirium than just an aggressive patient. Ketamine is the one drug of choice that we could use to help that.
But prosecutors firing back, making the case that ketamine was not necessary.
He was gasping and gurgling. He was pleading for help. A visual assessment was not enough.
Loved ones remembering McClain as a gentle soul who played the violin. Police had received a report about someone sketchy when they stopped him, but the prosecution said he was just walking home.
I have the right. Stop. I have a right to stop you because you're being suspicious.
McClain's mother said he wore a ski mask because his anemia made him feel cold.
What this verdict really says to the general society, each person has to take accountability and be responsible for what their role is and how they interact with the individual that is subject to the search, the stop, or the seizure.
And you saw those two police officers in the video with McClain. Well, one of those officers was found guilty in this case and he lost his job. The other one was acquitted and returned to work with $200,000 in back pay. As for the paramedics, a sentencing date has been set for March 1st. Zoreen Shah, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Before I begin and talk about this whole situation, let me say this real quick. May Elijah McClain rest in peace, and his family feels as though they got justice. They like it. I love it. But I'm going to be honest with you. I think those cops should have been locked up too. And I think it's a damn shame how they escaped this. One of them getting $200,000 in back pay. The other one, oh, we'll just let you go. We'll just fire you. This man lost his life. 23-year-old man lost his life just walking down the street going home. Now, another thing I want to say, those other police officers should have faced some type of penalty or disciplinary action. You had this guy on the ground, he threw up, you got your knee on the side of him while he's handcuffed, which is uncomfortable. They took his ski mask off. At what time, at any given time, did they sit him up where he could just sit up on himself and gather himself? Said he died from exhaustion and a narrowed carotid artery. I guess with his blood flow, that he couldn't, it was restricting his blood flow or whatever. Either way, it don't take a genius to see that this dude right here was not a criminal. Now, I'm going to bring up three things that angers me with this whole situation, right? And like I said, you want to see the whole body cam footage from start to finish? It's in the description box. But just hear me on this. First thing is this. He was never aggressive. Yeah, he was talking back to him. But if you listen to him when he walked up on him, he said, I'm an introvert. I don't trust people. You could see he was kind of off. I seen that. Now, a lot of people might get offended with what I just said. Something is different with him. You could see it. The way he was talking, what he was babbling about when he was on the ground wrestling, like they were wrestling with him, because the body camera fell off. So it was just pointed up at the sky so you could only hear the struggle. That's the first thing. It's like, you know, the failure, like to control the situation after you have somebody cuffed with a lot of officers is beyond me. Now, you had him cuffed. He's laying on the side. You got your knee on him for multiple minutes. Why didn't you sit him up? You took his mask off. Nobody asked questions. Hey, who are you? Listen, the reason why we pulled you over before we had to go through all of this is because nobody asked questions. You just sat there and held him down to the ground. The man is cuffed and detained. Why you got to keep putting your knee on him, holding him in an uncompromised position? He said he couldn't breathe, said he was uncomfortable. You seen he was throwing up. He wasn't like that when y'all found him. Sit the man up or something. Let him gather himself. Nobody asked questions. Just kept him down there. They should have had some type of disciplinary action with them. Because I think with him being cuffs, them putting their knees and stuff on him, where he is compressing his breathing and stuff, was a major contribution to him being in the position he was. More, in my opinion, than them giving him this, these EMTs taking the fall, giving him a high dose of ketamine. Because I'm going to tell you something. If they had sat him up or stood him up, you had 6, 7, 8 officers, he ain't going to run nowhere. Stand him up, let him gather himself, ask questions. Before the EMTs even got there, he would have never got said ketamine. You all agree or disagree? Another thing is this. The guy that made that 911 call for nothing. Oh, it was a guy walking down the street with a ski mask on. I drove by him. He was making all of these hand movements. And how'd you feel threatened in the car, sir? How'd you feel threatened in the car? He wasn't running. He had a bag, meaning he purchased something. For all to be concerned, he could have been a homeless dude with a ski mask on. You out there in Colorado. You know what I'm saying? Ski masks are normal. It's a skiing place where they ski at. This guy made this claim, didn't say he did nothing on the 911 call. Go listen. No, he just got a ski mask on. I want by me. He was moving his hand. That's not aggressive behavior. That's not going to do anything to you. He wasn't a danger to anybody or himself. Why'd you even make the fucking call? That's the first. That's another thing. Here's the second reason. Like this pisses me off, guys. Just hear me out. Failure to know the difference. Like they can't assess people. It's like a failure to see the difference between when somebody's like mentally sick, somebody's, just upset, somebody's on drugs. It's like these cops are in the street all the time and they can't figure that out, or they just don't want to figure it out. When they walked up on him, he was like, no. You could see the way he talked. something was off with him. And then he told him what was wrong with him. And like they just wasn't trying to hear it. It's like nowadays, these officers, even though they in the street and in the heat of all of this stuff, they still can't read people on the individual basis. If I was a cop, I'd have walked up on him. As soon as he said that, no, I'd have said, listen. I'd have grabbed onto him so he couldn't go nowhere. The other officer was walking up on him. Hey, listen, hear me out. We'll let you go on your way. We got a report of such and such. You got a ski mask. Can you take ski mask off so we can identify you? Such and such, this and that. You understand what I'm saying? They could have handled that a different way. Oh, we're coming up on you. And they said this out their mouth. You're being suspicious. We're going to grab. Listen, no citizen wants to walk up and down the street and then have cops just run up on him and grab on him. Oh, you're being suspicious. He was walking down the street. See what I'm saying? He was walking down the street. When you run up on somebody as an officer and you say to them, hey, you're doing something, and they say, hey, no, I'm not. They have a right to say that they're not doing something. They do. They have a right to speak. Hey, I'm not doing anything. Now, if they give you a lawful command, just do the command. Let me tell you something. In Jersey, this stuff was prevalent when I was there. You could be walking down the street, cops would just pull up on the curb, jump out the car. Don't you move. Find out it ain't you, going about the business. And you just be rattled like, what the? It's just how things were back then when I was there. This guy ran up on that. They might not do that out in Aurora, Colorado. I don't know if they do or not. It was new to him. He was like, what the? You know what I'm saying? People get defensive. That's just a normal human behavior. He didn't do anything wrong. That guy that made that 911 call, something needed to happen to him because he made a false report on nothing. And another thing is, I don't know if these 911 operators can talk to these people and say, hey, well, he just has a mask on, man. What made you call? Like, oh, he threw his hands up. I don't think the right questions was asked. Because remember, when you make a 911 call on somebody, all they doing is taking stuff down. And if they got to fill in the blanks with answers or try to answer a question for you when you ain't given adequate knowledge of the situation on the phone, that gets relayed to the police on that computer they got. So while they riding, this stuff is coming in. They don't know if you're aggressive or not. The words that come out your mouth or the things you say might already put them in a mind frame of how they got to handle a situation. And I think that was the problem. That boy should still be here. Lav McClain should still be here. Another thing is this. This is the big thing. It's like the same MO. He's on something. He went for the gun. He was super strong. He has amazing strength. They told that to the EMTs. His arm was up like this. We couldn't get his arm down. He had a superhuman strength. Where'd you hear that from? That sound familiar, don't it? Tye Nichols situation, remember? Black cops. Oh, he on something. He's strong. He's super strong. He this, he that. I want to show you something. This is how you know it's a connection with these people that can't read situations. And it's a lot of, it needs to be serious police policy. I can show you your proof right now. Watch this. Let me clear the screen. 2019, right? Elijah McClain, end result. 2023, Tye Nichols, end result. See it? On something, went for the gun, superhuman strength, acting crazy. Both of them didn't do anything except be where they were at the wrong time. It's messed up. A lot of other people should have went to jail. They put these EMTs out there as scapegoats because they did a medical procedure that they didn't do, and it was a judgment call, and they were easier to push under the bus without scrutiny than the officers. That's how I see it. The motherfucker that made that 911 call, his ass need to be locked up too, because he the one started this shit for nothing. I wonder if they even identified him. I haven't kept up with this. I wonder if that guy was identified out his dumb ass, because all this came from his stupid phone call where a guy was walking down the street with ski mask on. Now, in closing, I'm going to say this. I told my kids, right, when they got of age and they're on their own, I said, listen, a cop come up to you and give you a lawful command, don't give him no mouth, just do what he say. Just do what he say. If it's a misconception, get to the bottom of it. Wear badges, you got badge numbers. You keep badge numbers. You ain't got to sit there and argue with a grown person. Now, you're grown yourself, but you ain't got to sit there and argue about somebody, about the law, when it's their job to uphold said law that's constantly changing anyway. So, like, you really don't know what you think you know. A lot of people run around here and talk about their rights. We have no real rights to really pay attention to it. You know what I'm saying? You buy your house, you own the home, but you'll never own the land because you got to pay taxes. There's all kind of different things out here where people say they think they got the freedom, but they don't. A lot of it has a lot to do with you losing your life in situations where you think you're right on the common sense level, but the law is not common sense. Like I told my kids, I said, they give you a lawful command, just do it. Let's do the lawful command. They tell you to get on the ground, just get on the ground. You understand what I'm saying? Because the bottom line is, you know, people that's going to come and defend you, like me, your mom, or whatever, as long as you're doing the right thing, justice will be served. This guy, you can tell he probably never had any police interaction. He seemed like he was sheltered, stayed in the house. You know, you meet people that, I ain't going to want to call him a geek, but like, I mean, the nerdy type, he came off like that. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. That boy enjoyed life just like everybody else. And to have them having him from a stupid ass phone call and a bunch of people running around in circles and just doing him like that, it's not right. It's not. That's what bothers me. Someone to state that, man. EMTs was the only ones should have went to jail. Some other people should have went too. And they were dismissive about it, and they made them the scapegoats. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Like I said, may Elijah McClain rest in peace. His family feel as though they got justice. They like it, I love it. But I mean, me, I don't want a different route with it, because a lot of people need to be held accountable that got away, in my opinion. See you in the next video. Take care.